Hello, everyone. I think we're live on Facebook. Oh, hold on. Let me
Honor
see.
and pleasure to be here.
We are live. Okay, perfect. I'm still figuring this out. I'm glad we got it going. You have me and Cole, the alchemist, here, and we're going to be talking about sacred sexuality. And I just really want to dive in. But first, I'm going to add us on Instagram so then we can stream from all. So, okay, just give me 1 second. I'm going to do that really quick. I hope everyone's feeling good today. How are you doing?
I am fabulous. Blessed. Enjoy a beautiful weekend. Great weather. Another day, another blessing. So
that's right.
Not a complaint in the world. You could try to find them, but it's no use.
All right, so now we are live on Instagram and on Facebook. So I'm gonna just put this screen right here. Hello, everyone. Cole, if you wanna join that, perfect. All right, I'm so excited for today's topic. I'm thankful for everybody who's tuning in via Facebook and on Instagram. Let me see if I can add you really quick. Here we go. All right. So I'm going to wait until Cole gets on here, and I want to dive head first into this topic because it's important. Okay, here we go. I see you.
Getting used to this. You got to be on like 2, 3, 4, 5 different cameras.
Yeah, you don't know where to look.
Exactly. I love.
Yeah. Cole, don't.
Feeling, Joe?
I'm feeling good. You muted your Zoom instead of your computer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. You know, this topic is a heavy one. You know, it's not even heavy so much of like just a new reality that people need to tap into that we've been in for a while. You've been in longer than me, but I've been doing my research. So I'm ready to share and just be open and vulnerable with everybody and anything that we got going on. So
Absolutely. Well, the topic, as we know, is sacred sexuality and Tantra. Tantra is in short, it's a science, it's a wisdom, it's really a way of life. It's a weaving, as they say. Tantra means to weave, and the reason why we call it sacred sexuality is because you are sacred. Everything in life is sacred. It's really just an outlook, a mindset that you learn to cultivate and look at life and embrace it. Understanding your sexuality. I believe sexuality in itself, sexuality is one of the most understood words. And I mean that because it's not overstood or understood. It's something that people don't fully understand to the highest capacity. And for me, learning it over 8 years ago, it helped me bring this sacredness to all of life. And just at the root of it all, we all came here from sex. Sex is the essence of life. Sex is happening all around us. The tree and the earth is having sex. It's an energy exchange. So sex I use as a sacred energy exchange. And that is how our body functions. We have a polarity, and we speak about the masculine, feminine polarity that exists in all of existence. And when you're able to tap into that understanding of just how you are created, your technology of a body, it is all sex. And for me, it was understanding that I was composed, and everybody's composed of this feminine, masculine, and feminine energies. You come from a mother and a father. But what tend to happen is we label on one side. So if I'm born as a man, oh, he's a man. And if you're born as a woman, she's a woman. Now we're in this place where people are starting to embrace, expressing their sexuality in different ways. But at the root of it all, it is all feminine and masculine energy that's taking place on all forms. So for me, when I learned that I had a feminine side and learned to embrace the feminine side, not saying that I'm female, but the feminine aspect, the polarity exists, and it's always going to exist. So you are going to have the light and the dark. You're going to have the masculine and the feminine. You're going to have the black and the white. This is the duality of how we were created. And when you understand that at the root of it, it is tied to the feminine and the sexual, the divine feminine and divine masculine, this is what allows creation to exist. And it all starts within yourself. And that's where you start to tap in to the science of it. Everybody understands the
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Something just happened on Instagram.
kicked.
Literally just kicked me right off. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to mess
You know
up your
what's going
flow.
on here.
Hold on, I'm coming back. Let me do this again.
Yeah, we got kicked off on the IG, but lovely for the team.
Okay, let's try
Let
again.
me know how you're looking.
I know, I'm sorry. That's the flow that I was talking about the other day. Okay, let's do this again. I'm going to put it on Do Not Disturb. Here we go. Okay. All right. We're back. Sorry about that. If you want to jump back in. I'm back. All right, everyone. Sorry about that. Let's just keep this ball rolling with what we were going here. Anybody who is joining the live now, I'm going to add Cole. And we were just touching base on sacred sexuality, of basically where he was just diving in before my live went off of actually, there we go. Actually diving into your masculine and your feminine. And I want him to continue because I want you guys to hear it from the male version, and then I'm going to give it to you from my point of view as well. So here's the floor again. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's all good. So essentially, people are starting to become more familiar with the term of chakras. And we have these energy centers. We have more than 7, but the 7 inner energy centers, chakras that we have are where we store information and we store energy. We have the top 3, which is more so associated with the masculine aspect. So it's in terms of spirituality, the way you think and function. And we have the bottom 3, which is more about survival, which is a feminine aspect, which is where creation starts, and all these things. And then you have the center one, which is the heart. And this is the key for understanding Tantra. This is where we talk about love. When you learn to open up your heart, it allows a flow of energy to connect the top 3 to the bottom. And the whole aspect of that is understanding we are here to become one, become whole, to merge these energies within yourself. And when you learn to love yourself at the highest capacity, then it's easy for you to give love. It's abundant. What happens is over time, we go through trauma, we go through relationships, we go through heartbreak, we go through suppression, people being suppressed, they can't speak their truth, whether it be for family, whether it be just speaking out, against anything. It's like you're told just this is what it is. So your throat chakra may be closed up, and now the whole part is to be able to embrace this whole love, the whole freeness, the trust of all there is. And it all starts with yourself. It all starts with yourself. Meditation is the root of it all. Meditation being to bring yourself present to the now moment, being able to sit with yourself and to embrace the stillness. So as you know, when we first started speaking over a year ago, meditation was one thing that I just continued to just tell you about. It's just fully just understanding how this body works, how to flow the energy. It all starts with yourself. And as they say, if you want to be able to attract better in your life, it all starts from within. If you want to see the change, you have to be the change. And Tantra was that lifestyle that helped me merge everything together. It helped me find the balance in all life. And that's all it is. It's when you're able to embrace that, then you're able to embrace all of life. You see everything as divine. You see life as divine. You see the breath as sacred. And it's about following the breath. It's about bringing the awareness to all that exists around you, having appreciation for all of life, for the plants, for the cosmos, for the heavens, the earth, everything that happens within you. It's truly making life divine. And that's what Tantra for me, when I started to understand how to love myself to higher levels, I was able to love others because I started to become more authentically myself. And really all what Tantra is going to teach you over time is to become the most authentic version of yourself. No limitations. There's no judgment. That's one of the greatest teachings that Tantra will teach you, is being able to love and embrace all without having to judge. Letting go, full surrender of everything. The mind wants to control, but when you're in that space where you're just fully tapped in and connected with all things, you don't care to have control because you are the flow. You are one with the flow. And that was through Tantra. And it all starts with yourself. When you're able to bring that, then you bring it into all forms of life. And Tantra in the Western world is taking this very sexual thing and as far as the physical part.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, we live in a physical reality. So understanding how to work the physical is very important. But at the essence of it, it is a spiritual aspect. It's about bringing together the spirituality, love, and the physical aspect of touch. And when you're able to understand, start with yourself, learn to love yourself, embrace yourself, love your body, love you for who you are. You're not caring the way anybody thinks. The way you started to embrace, your sexuality and just putting yourself out there, just learning to love yourself fully. It's a beauty because it's just confident, just loving yourself. And when you're able to love yourself more, then you attract, you become love. It's no longer something that you choose to possess. It's when I say that Tantra is happening all around you, you don't see the tree trying to claim the leaves, even though it was born from the trees. It's letting it grow in whatever direction that it wants to grow. And it's a powerful just insight. And it's a way that you approach life. And that's how I approach all of life. And it's not about a physical aspect, because I can touch people in ways without ever having to touch their body.
Okay,
just because it's stimulating them in various ways.
I want to slow it down. I want to bring it back. I want to go. I want to go for people that don't know what Tantra is. A short, because this for me is also a huge topic. I also practice Tantra on multiple levels, but I want them to understand the basics, because yes, self-love is one. Self-love is number one. If you don't love yourself, in my vision, then there's no way that you can reach those higher levels of Tantra without going in first. So for someone who knows nothing about Tantra and associates it with the Western world of the act of sex, what would be a point that you would tell them, okay, this is where you start, and this is where it will educate you on how to see it? Like, what would you say to someone, especially in the lives or different things? Where would you go with that?
I said start with meditation. Start with learning to spend time with yourself. Love yourself. And everybody that understands meditation is learning to just follow your breath. It's learning to really become in touch with yourself. Following your breath. When we lead people through meditations, we're teaching them how to follow their breath. Follow their breath in through their nose, out through their mouth. Learning the aspect of giving and receiving. Because if you go into the scriptures in Genesis, when the Creator created the whole earth, He breathed life into man. In Hebrew, what they call the Ruach HaKodesh. It's essentially the Holy Spirit. So when you're able to bring your awareness to your breath and breathe out through your mouth, and just fully just take in your breath, allow it to fill the body up, and let it leave the body. It's a constant flow of giving and receiving. It's a feminine. This is where you're going to once again pay attention to this polarity of feminine, masculine. So feminine of receiving, and the masculine of letting go. It's a constant dance, and you'll understand that all of life is a dance. It's following this energy. It's just following the life force, and it all starts with your breath, because the breath is all that we have. So I'd say the root of it is understanding how valuable your breath is, and when you can follow the breath in through your nose, out through your mouth, and you could learn to just be able to stay with yourself and be present and feel the energy that you have access to, then you're able to understand that there are levels to it. But at the root of it, that's what it is. And then I'd say understand how the chakra system works. I'd say understand how the energy centers work, and then understand how important opening your heart is. Your heart is probably the hardest chakra to fully open because it tends to be closed. Once it gets hurt and damaged, you no longer want to let people in. And then we start to not be able to trust. But when you're able to learn to trust yourself by just learning to tap into the present moment, and you feel like you don't have to control anything, everything that you're fully protected, you have everything within you, then you're starting to understand the root and the essence. And then then you can start to go into the aspects of bringing in a partner that you want to sit there and follow your breath. But it always will start with yourself, is understanding that I am the essence of all that happens around me. And when you understand that you are the divine is within you. You've been given the gift to live. It's a gift that the Creator has given you. And you have to learn to tap into this gift by yourself before you can invite anybody else in. And that's where it all starts. So I'd say that's where it starts, with the breath initially. And then from there are higher levels to understanding the art of Tantra. But the root of it is understanding your sexuality, understanding that you are a divine being that is composed of the feminine and masculine essence, and then understanding what are those composed of, and understanding like, oh, okay, receiving is feminine, giving is masculine. Then it's understanding I have to learn to receive and I have to learn to give. Because a lot of people are good with giving, but when it's time for you to receive, it's like, oh, no, I don't want that. No, it's like, no, you deserve that. Somebody sees something in you. And if somebody's giving you something, they're trying to give you the gesture. So as much as you like to give, you should be able to give the person the same gift to give as well. So you're like, okay, because you know how good it feels to give. So when you're trying to give somebody and they're like, no, and it's like a slap in the face. So, and a lot of like our my ancestors, when somebody offers you something, it's very much of an offense when you say no.
Oh yeah. 100%.
So if it's like, even if it's something that you may not want, at times it's a gesture that somebody's trying to show you. Like someone say, oh, do you want a cup of coffee? Yeah. In our cultures, that's something that's very big. Sitting around a culture, it's like having a cup of coffee. Like, absolutely, I'd love a cup of coffee, because it's a flow. Because somebody's asking you to suggest. Yeah, it's absolutely. And it's if it's they give you an option, or you may say, do you have any tea? I already had my coffee for the day. So it's all about, it's a dance. It's a baby to understand that you have to be able to meet people where they are. And you can bring the essence of Tantra to every relationship that you have. When it comes to kids, you're dealing with kids, you're going to have to relate to them. You're going to have to learn how to come down to their level so that they feel appreciated. And then they feel the love, like, wow, I'm seen. I'm not seen as something that's less than because I'm younger. Because children are the most divine beings that exist on earth. They're full of light. They're full of innocence. They'll tell you exactly what it is. They'll tell you truths that most people don't want to express. They'll say things and they'll check you like, oh, but you gotta love the innocence of adult. Yeah, but at the end, that's the innocence of it all. So Tantra is an aspect that one starts with yourself, but you're able to bring it into all of life, and that's the understanding of it all.
Yeah, I think from my experience, the way that it worked for me once I really started tapping into Tantra and learning about it and going on in my own journey with it was definitely me. Like, it had to start with me. It went from me learning, from me feeling it. I can cycle that energy throughout myself without a partner. I don't need a partner for this. It's something that is now, when I go to the ocean and I feel the water on my skin and I feel the sun, and it's like, that is all tantric energy. That is all organic, or it's just happening naturally, to where I feel like this is something that now I don't even think about it as it being Tantra. I think of it as it being my life. It becomes a way of living. So I live in my tantric energy. I'm here, I'm present in it. And I think a lot of people, need to know the difference between masculine and feminine energy. And from my standpoint, okay, I've definitely someone who has been in my masculine energy for a very long time, especially when it comes to, you know, being a businesswoman and working around a ton of men. You're automatically in your masculine energy because you're trying to keep up. I don't keep up anymore. I am my own energy. And I know now that I can balance these and be both when needed. And then there's times where I literally just don't even have to worry about it. So
Landscapers coming into barrage on the party.
oh man, we've been dealing with, this is what happens every time we get into a really good topic. Either the power goes, we got landscapers, we got all kinds of shit. And last time my Wi-Fi went out before a couple minutes ago. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that I just want people to keep in mind here. One, you do have to really educate yourself on masculine energy and feminine energy. I was way more in my masculine, and it was like, I'm an A-type personality, so I want things like this. Like we got a routine, and I still am very much like that. And I'm trying to, I found that balance now of like, okay, I need to just sit back and relax real quick. Yeah. And then there's moments where it's different. So I just want you guys to know that Tantra for me was way more than the sexual act. And I feel like a lot of people bring it back there because when you Google Tantra, I don't know if you've done this, Cole, but I actually did it today to prove it to myself. Tantra sex is the first thing that pops up. So it's not even like Tantra education, Tantra this, it's just Tantra sex. And I think maybe that's because that's the first thing people go to.
People love sex,
like, okay, I get it. Sex sells. It is. But when you can find that energy and rotate it within yourself, you don't need that other person. Like, it's great, but I don't need it. It's not it. That's not the vibe. So first step for me was figuring it out myself, learning all about Tantra and the sexual energy exchange. You can also exchange that in daily life, in things that you're doing by yourself, all of those things. That's how that works. This is what it means for me. So when I look at this picture on the flyer, most of you have seen the flyer. I have it posted on Instagram. If you haven't, it's actually on the Zencation page. And that was the exact image of how I felt. I felt like, oh, like I opened my chest and I just felt like this amazing feeling. Like, this is how I felt. I got to see the universe inside of me, the soul, the depth. Okay, so when I saw that picture, I was like, okay, this is the one that we needed on there, because it was a lot more than just the surface. So I wanted to go into, I wrote notes for this, Cole, because you know I write notes. So
I know you tapped. I want to tap into you tapped into one thing about you mentioned the orgasm, and I want people to understand the orgasm is way greater than sex again. Orgasm means a release of energy, and that type of orgasm energy can happen when you sneeze. It can happen when you cough. It can happen when you yell. It is a release of energy, and when that release of energy happens, that's what allows the flow of energy. Because when you're open in that aspect, that's what allows the life force to enter. And it's possible for people to tap into that by themselves by just learning to tap into this energy. Now, when you do that with yourself, then it begins something that you can bring into all aspects of life. Now, obviously, the highest level of it is to be able to go into this place of being physical with another person. But you have to crawl before you walk, and you have to walk before you run. And this is just the understanding of the levels of it. But obviously, everybody wants to get to the cream of the crop. People love sex, and that's the unfortunate aspect of the Western world, because people just see it as an opportunity for financial gain or to take advantage, and it's used in various ways. The most important thing that I want to say is the intention behind everything is what's important. Yeah. Understanding what somebody's intentions are is the essence of it, because there are going to be people that just want certain things from you or of you. Yeah. And if they are not aligned in your values, your morals, you're not aligned mentally, spiritually, it's going to be tough for one that trust to happen, because trust is something that is essential in allowing you to tap into these orgasmic energies. So that's why it's very important for you to just find that trust within yourself. Because if you only trust other people but you don't trust yourself, that's a disadvantage and that's a disservice.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll let you continue on to that. I just wanted to let people know that the orgasm, what they call the big O, it's essentially how we came here. It's an orgasmic energy that each person was born before the sperm gets deposited into the egg. The orgasm has to happen so that it can create the portal for the soul to come down. And that is understanding how how sacred you are as a being. The fact that we're able to just do what we're doing, talking, we are created by the divine, you know, and we have essence and small aspects of the creator within ourselves. So we are an aspect of God. Now, we're not God. We're not the big G. We're the little G. We're the smaller version, so that we can sit there and evolve like children and become one with that. And then that's where you can sit there and tap into your limitless potential.
I think, you know, I didn't really go in depth about orgasm, but we can go there. That's fine. We can tap into that. So for me, when I talk about orgasm, I'm not talking about just an orgasm that you get from, you know, having sex. I'm talking like orgasmic energy that I live in. Like, imagine feeling that feeling, but walking around with it. Like that is a higher level of an orgasm. That's better than any orgasm that you could ever have, because now, you know, let's just all these problems going on in the world today. I'm so in my orgasmic energy that you can't really throw me off. There's not really much that you could throw me off with it, you know, like, and I think people look at it as like a surface thing, of just having an orgasm and having a partner and doing these things. Well, one, if you're sharing this energy with a partner, you have to know that person. This isn't something, you know, I've been doing a lot of research, and for the women that are watching this, it is Tantra. This woman said Tantra ruined my sex life. And I thought, oh, I'm gonna have to watch this, because I'm gonna need to know what she's really talking about. And what she's talking about is because then you reach a level of consciousness within yourself that now you won't have unconscious sex, because it means more. It's my energy. I'm not giving my energy to you. We need to have a reciprocated emotional, intellectual energy before I can give you the sexual energy. Because if you don't use it the right way, then I'm looking at you crazy, because this is now me that we're connected with. We're weaving, we're Tantra, we are weaving together. That's the whole purpose. That's the love. Okay. So
and it'll bring you down if it's not, if that person's not in the right place. So
100%.
that is the essence of it. And it says it ruined it, but that's a lens to look at it. But that's somebody that's probably just looking to sit there and have a whole bunch of one night stands. But in essence, you're just understanding how divine your energy is. You're starting to love yourself. Yeah, I get it in the aspect of like when someone's like, damn, I just want to sit there and get my rocks off, you know, just have a nut. I get it, you know, in those aspects of it. But you understand that I don't need somebody for that, you know. You can sit there and have fun with yourself, you know. That's the aspects of it.
And then I don't have to worry about another person.
And exactly, you don't have to worry about dealing with it. Now you're taking on energy, and now it's like all of a sudden I feel off. Why am I thinking this way? Why am I craving these certain things? It's because you've chosen to merge your energy with another being, and that's especially as a woman. I say there's a reason why the feminine energy has been cut off. This patriarchy that they've created has put women to the side and it's cut off people from their feminine energy, which is why we're seeing over masculine beings all over the planet, even women being overly masculine in their ways because they've been cut off from it. So this is where we understand that the creator, the closest thing to the highest creation is the woman, because she creates life on this plane. So on Earth, that is the highest form of energy, because they're able to create energy, create life. But you have to be able to find that balance. That's why understanding how sacred that energy is, especially as a female, you have the power to bring, life into this world. So if you're going to take a seed from a man that's unconscious and plant it into you, you understand that there is going. You guys are sharing. That is alchemy. You're creating a being with both of your energies. So if somebody's sitting there at a high level of vibration, and someone's at a low, you'll probably get something right in the middle. You know, a lot of those things will manifest in that child, and that's the manifestation of understanding. If I want to sit there and create a better reality for my life, I have to start with myself, so that I can sit there and see that everything around me is starting to manifest on higher levels. Because if I'm not loving myself, I'm only going to manifest a mate that's not loving themselves fully. I'm going to attract relationships that are lower vibrational, that don't bring me life. So it always starts with you. If you want to create a better relationship or better job situation, it starts with you. It starts by really looking internally, like, how can I make myself better? And that's why the essence of having, people that you can sit there and learn with, have these talks with, it's about really getting intimate. Somebody that can show you a reflection of you. So it's like, I see it. Every relationship that you're going is a reflection of you. So it's only there to teach you something. It's all about you. It's not about anybody else. You are the only thing that exists. There's only one. It's your reality, your lens. You are the divine. You're experiencing God through your lens. So you have to sit there and see every single aspect, every relationship that you're tapping into, as this is a reflection of who I am. I've attracted this being. Don't ask me, how did I get in this relationship? It was because of you. Yeah. You manifested this. You manifested this. And if you see that there are flaws in that person, because then it's like, damn, maybe I do have that within me. So it's easy for you to attack that person, but it's better to take it within and say, you know what, let me see where I let myself strong. Maybe I have insecurities in this place. And a lot of the times it won't be, because if somebody's at a lower vibration, they may react out of way, but you'll realize, like, I don't have to react that way with you. I can continue to send love back to you. I can understand that you may have thought you may have created expectations that you wanted to happen, but they're not going to happen that way, because I create boundaries. And I love you regardless. I love you regardless for who you are, but we have to be able to have these real talks. And it's about communicating and being real with yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so while we're in this, I want to just shift a little bit. So for me, one of the best things out of Tantra is the manifestation, is being able to create my reality with my own orgasmic energy, or using that together. Okay. Right. So when we go into the importance of your partner, the importance of how you're using your energy, where your thoughts are, how they become what you're doing, affirmation daily, that's something that's important. But manifesting your reality becomes so much easier, quicker, that you have to be extremely conscious of what you're thinking. Because when you're thinking, like, I'm not even going to go there, but I can tell you, we've manifested Zencation. Bam.
But tapping into energy. That's by understanding. That's what you understand, how energy works. If you understand energy in forms of, now I understand that sex is happening inside me. Sex is what creates an actual baby. So if I can sit there and learn to manifest this energy, learn this balance of the feminine, masculine energy within myself, I now control the power to manifest and create by myself. I can manifest anything by myself, but it's learning how to find that balance within myself. And you can bring that with other people. The highest level of teaching that I sit there and say is, you want to become closer to the divine. The closer you want to, be able to tap into God, you're able to tap into the divine nature, you feel this oneness with all of life. And that's what Tantra has been able to allow me to be able to feel this oneness at every time. And if you're able to feel this state of orgasmic energy as you walk, and all it is just, it's that rush of energy. You're electricity. You're electricity. So you're an electric being. You have this energy that you can sit there. When they sit there and somebody's on the hospital bed and they have to rub it together, they're pumping them with electricity, and that's essentially to try and just restart the chakras so that the chakra system's able to just start flowing. So the more and more life force that you're able to build up, the more and more you're able to have that willpower. You can feel the energy. You can touch people and they'll feel like, yo, why are you so hot? It's because it's electricity running through me at all times. And now I can sit there, and that's why with my mind, I don't take in a lot of, things that you watch on the news, because they play with your emotions. Mm-hmm. So you have to learn how to say, you know what, I can see that for what it is, but I'm not going to allow it to affect my energy field. I'm going to continue to, focus my energy where I want it to go. I'm going to keep my mind, have the discipline to keep my mind here, flowing the energy, understanding that I can't get too overly consumed. It's a powerful thing when you take your power back.
Yes.
But it's fully taking your power back and not allowing it to be taken from things that are outside of you.
And that's one of the things that I had to learn. So I had to learn that there are things that I allow my energy to have. I give that access. And that was from a low vibration. That was from my life before, when I started meditating and really taking in these practices and practicing them. That is the most important thing that I can tell you, is that I literally do meditate every day. I don't do yoga every day, but I do try to do yoga every day. But
that is yoga.
What,
that is
meditation's
yoga.
like brushing my teeth now. You know what I'm saying? Like that, it becomes in such a routine where it's like sometimes I want to go into meditation longer. And that's what really was able to, and educating yourself on Tantra, on all these different beliefs, Cole. You really, for anybody who's not following him, for anyone who's not following him, please do that, because he drops gems of books of all his meditations like that. And I picked him up and ran with him. And that was me being able to be so hungry for the growth of it that Tantra, I live in it now. So let's go into, there was a different thing. Okay, so as you know, it's Mantak-Chia. I said it wrong. Mantak-Chia.
Mantak-Chia, yeah.
Okay. What are some of the things that you know from him that you've learned of? I know that he has a lot of different beliefs. I know that there's different people.
He's a Taoist teacher. So Taoist, for me, knowledge is power. I studied the Taoist teachings, the Tao Te Ching. He's the one that understands, teaches people the importance of the sexual energy, how to channel it, how to cultivate it, especially for men. Semen retention, that's something that I teach with people, because that is your life force. That is essentially something that continues to give us life. And when you release it, and a lot of this is, so I saw someone say something about the media and things of that nature. They want the man to continue to release. They want him to be obsessed with pornography, because it's something that has a disconnect. Because I told you, it's a masculine thing to stay in the mind. Pornography is all just imagery that's happening in your mind. It's not really a sense of sensual touch. So it's tough for men that overly, are in masturbation and all of these things. It's tough for them to learn to connect with somebody. It just becomes this physical act. Now there's act where they're doing everything that they see in porn, and they're not really trying to connect with a partner. It's about mentally, emotionally, physically, intentionally being there for somebody to fully embrace all there is. It's about enjoying the foreplay. It's about, especially with women. Women need at least like 27 minutes to fully get aroused. Men are ready to just like, all right, let's get it going. So you have to really just learn the aspect of, once again, giving and receiving. And when the man gets to a place, it's like, okay, now it's time for me to give at this moment. It's time for me to honor this divine feminine being in front of me. It's time for me to worship her in every way, every part of her, every touch, every caress. There is an intention in every single moment while it's happening. So that's where you understand. Once you open it up, it's like, wow, I feel loved in every aspect. It's not just me being this physical thing. And as the man understands the willpower, he's able to have the control to say, I'm taking my time. I'm fully present. This is not a means for an end. It's just an experience, a never-ending experience. And this is where the Western world has messed up. They always think of it as like, it's a means for an end.
Yeah.
Did you come?
Yeah.
Did you do like? And it's like, it's not about that. It's about arriving and being here.
I remember thinking that. I remember, practicing Tantra and being like, this guy's not coming. Like, something's wrong.
Yeah. I'm about to blow your mind more, man. I'm about to blow your mind even more. And a lot of people may not be ready for us, but we here now, man. It's just like the reality of it. The story of Adam and Eve is that. The Adam and Eve is the essence of a woman sitting there and saying, like, nah, you could come. And then that release. And then that's where they felt the fall, where they felt naked in the aspect. And it's like, now it's like, oh, what did I just do? And when a man nuts, that's how he feels. Yeah. He feels like, all of a sudden you feel that detachment. You ever happen when someone sits there and all of a sudden you're not like, oh, It's like, oh shit, like, how come he doesn't want to hug me anymore? How come he doesn't want to touch me? This is what happens after you release. When you release, it's like, he's no longer hugging me because the life force left, he's gone, and he just wants to go to sleep. They call it the petit mort, the little death. That's the slow death. So when a man learns to start to channel that, bring that energy, instead of releasing it to the bottom, channel it up to the top, to the crown. Cycle it. And it starts to cycle, and it becomes this energy within yourself. So when you're able to fit out with yourself, then you can bring, now you have a partner. Two of you have learned to cycle your energy. Now you're bringing it as far as the woman is a multi-orgasmic being. Women that can have multiple orgasms. Men are able to tap into it. When by design, we're not multi-orgasmic. Once one and done, it's like, but when you learn to tap into the flow of it,
you
it
can
becomes,
feel that.
yeah,
You can feel that
you start to cultivate.
I'm orgasming, and it's a cycling, and then you can pull it back up. It's a beautiful, it really is a dance. Now that I put it into that type of the scenery, it really is, because it's just, you can legitimately feel the emotion. And when I first experienced it, I was like, holy shit, and then I started practicing it. Okay. And it was great with a partner, but when you can master that within yourself, of feeling that, it's level. It's like, oh, I can have this orgasmic feeling without anyone. It's better with a partner. I think of course it is. You know what I'm saying? Of course,
everybody loves to do that. In the physical experience, that's what you have.
It's an experience. But let's just break it down to, you can have that experience by yourself and feel that in all of your life. Okay. It's a real thing. Like, I'm proof. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hands down.
That's what it is.
Profound.
And that's where
it accelerates it. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you're able to tap into that energy, and all you really need is when you have somebody that's able to guide you through it. And there's ways where it doesn't even have to be physical. When you're able to channel your energy, it's like, I don't even have to put my clothes on. And I could be fully clothed by just sitting there, holding somebody, hugging them, channeling the breath. You can sit. You can sit there. You can sit. Yeah, I've been able to do that with various people, and it's like, it's not about anything else. That's what I'm saying. You can even have it with someone of the same sex. So people ask me, and you asked me. I remember you asked me last week, is it possible for someone of the same sex? Of course, you're able to channel that energy. Of course, you're able to loop the energy. You just have to get out of your mind of the physical aspect. I just want to be here. I want to be here with you. I just want to sit here and just flow my breath with you. I just want to be fully present with you in this aspect. And that is the essence of it. And I promise people, when you bring this into every aspect of life is just,
it looks different.
Life is a walking orgasm. That's really what it is.
And I want to, like, the full transparency is that yes, you still feel all your emotions, but when you're feeling these emotions, it's like, I could be upset about something, but it's never as intense as it was before I started meditating, before I started Tantra, before I started all these things in my life. Now that I practice daily, it's never as intense. Like, I can be upset about something, and then I work through those emotions, because those emotions are important to go through, but not to stay in them. So I think, it really is a huge part of all of your life. It goes for everything that you do, not just one thing.
100%. That's well said. It's a fact that people that understand how you can sit there and really tap into those type of realms, you can really start to embrace everything that life has to offer you. And it all starts within yourself, because that's for me where I realize how I interact with other beings is real genuine love. And a lot of the times people don't know how to perceive it. One, because they haven't met somebody that gives love freely and just wants to do it, without anything in return. You're able to give freely. Like, it's about giving, and then when you have an abundance of it, it's like having limitless money. And it's like, if I could have limitless money, I'm like,
you giving everybody some love.
You get it back. And love is the highest frequency that exists. Everything stems from love.
It really does.
Any great person that's been able to tap into these levels of love, they're talked about forever. And that's because, and unfortunately, the people that have learned and mastered it and have been able to allow the love to spread further, the darkness has swallowed them. So I say this goes deeper because at the end of this physical reality is a limited time.
Right.
We have our mortality as a human being. This is how you tap into your God frequency. This art is how you tap into your goddess frequency. Because after you leave here, you want to make sure that you're able to transcend.
Yeah.
And you're able to tap into it with yourself. But you have, like we understand, we have many soulmates. We have family, familial soulmates, and it's about fully embracing it. And the more and more people that are around you that understand this, and you start to attract it, your life can only become raised higher. Because the woman, when they say that the man is the head, or the father, it's a masculine energy that we all can tap into. But by design, a woman can only birth a child. You understand? So by design, a man can tap into that energy. So it's about bringing the two together. So I can bring down that part, and you can bring down this part. And now we've been able to weave, and we became one. And that oneness is like I feel fully one with all of life. Right. And it's an incredible feeling. It's profound.
It really is. When I think of when you started talking about oneness and how, different things like that, it was so important that I can tell you that I did look at it from a duality standpoint. I did separate a lot of different things in my life, especially with partners. When you go into Tantra, it is something that everyone needs to feel. Let's be clear. I mean, just not even touching you. I've done that practice with a girl, and we're face to face, and I could feel the energy, she could feel the energy, and it's just, that is really what you're sharing. You're teaching people how to be able to cultivate this energy of love, of real love, not the superficial, like, not even exchange. Like, this is even exchange. I'm giving it because I love you and I want you to feel that love. And that is better than any feeling that you can ever give someone, and teaching them. And that's what now, us teaching this to people, that's really where I want to dive in, teaching people the aspects of being able to love yourself, because that's where it happens first. And then once you're loving yourself and you know how to do these things, then you go into it. And that partner has to be open-minded. This is something that everyone has to be an open-minded person to understand.
Non-judgment. Tantra is about non-judgment. It's about embracing somebody, every person as they are. Understanding that all it is about you understanding and unfolding into who you were designed to be. And nobody can tell you that. And you shouldn't allow anybody to tell you how your life should look. You should take in all the information and decide what's for you and what's not for you. But in the end, I will always speak in terms of the light. The God that I serve is the Most High Creator that created all things, all human beings. And there are other people that are on the earth that choose to serve lower gods. And that's their prerogative and that's their choice. But again, with the understanding of Tantra, it's like, to whatever you want, it's your world. But my world, and if people want to learn to tap into the highest levels of teachings, it taps into the teachings of Christ. Even to the aspect of if people really did their research, Mary Magdalene, whom they called a prostitute or a whore, was actually a high priestess, and she was one of the people that was with Christ the whole time. So they practiced Tantra, but they understood the sacredness of it. So some people sit there and think like, oh my God, he was a virgin, all these things. I hate to break it to you, that's not the truth. This man was a human, and he was able to tap into his divine nature to become Jesus the Christ. He was Jesus of Nazareth, and then he went through the teachings, he went through the mystery schools of Melchizedek, and then he was able to tap into the Christ energy, and he became the Messiah, whom was Yeshua, who they spoke about was going to come before him. So this is next level teaching, but people, we have to have the conversations because people don't understand it. And the reality is most people aren't going to have the conversation, but it is our duty to sit there and shed light on the situation instead of it being something that's hidden and it's in the darkness. So you'd rather have somebody that can shed light on something that and say like, oh, okay, maybe let me look into that, and look into everything. Do your own research. Don't take anything as full truth. Take everything as half truth, but still be receptive to hearing it, and then allow it to just sit with you. And then you'll have to do a lot of the wrestling, and that's the whole part of it. You're going to wrestle with your spirit at times because one, you're getting rid of old ways of thinking, and you're integrating new ways of thinking, and then you're going to have to break a lot of the old patterns that are happening within you. but it's
Yeah.
about embracing all of this. It's next level. It's next level. And I guarantee you, I saw someone say something about attracting, mates that are continually the same. I want you to understand that the work, again, starts with yourself.
I'm
If
going to
you
go
want
back in
to
these comments.
create that, you want to create that relationship, you want to cultivate a relationship that is way high, you have to really learn to love yourself. Because when you learn to love yourself and you learn to learn what's for you, then you also learn what's not for you. And then you're able to say, I'm not going to accept that. Then you're no longer going to get caught with the eyes, because we have this ego that's going to see things it likes and it's going to say, ooh, I need that. I need that. And it's like, no, that's not what you need. You want that. You want that. And
Yeah.
that want might get you in trouble. So you have to sit there and say, what is it that I need?
Yes.
Universe, I want to get the highest man that I can possibly find. Fill me up so I could attract it. There's a lot of humility, a lot of surrender that you're going to have to learn to embrace. Fully surrendering for this feminine energy to come through, to sit in that void. That void is a feminine state. When you get in meditation, you're choosing to be fully present and have no control. You're fully present like that tree that's sitting there. And that void, now the thought to sit there and say, let me do something is masculine. Then you're understanding how the flow of work, the universe works. But it's understanding the universe is within you. And as above, so below. As within, so without. The law of correspondence. These are hermetic principles that go back into ancient times. As I said, these teachings are not new.
No.
They're old. They go back 10,000 years. It's just that it's as every religion, somebody takes it and they're like, ooh, let me make it mine. Let me do this. And now they want to sit there and try to claim that they were this. Everybody has a potential to tap in to become a prophet, has prophetic psychic abilities, but you have to do the work. It's internal work. It's not something that's going to happen outside of you. You use the outside of you to take in information, but you have to internalize it. You have to digest it so that you understand it. But the teachings of Tantra allow you to understand the totality of all of life and understanding that everything is connected. We are one. There is no separation. The essence of Tantra is we are one. It's a oneness that exists on all planes, but it takes work to get to where you're not seeing things as duality. Because it's easy, as we live in a world of duality. Two eyes, two hands, 2 feet, 2 nuts. It's literally that, but one mouth, one third eye. So this is the essence. Like, we're constantly being shown how the universe works. And the universe has manifested itself into us so that it can show us. And now we're learning that we have to understand that we are whole by ourselves. And once I'm whole, then I can bring my wholeness to other beings. And I'll be able to bless them with the light that I have within me. And it's going to be something like a candle. I can take my candle, you have a light the candle, and then you can pass it on to the next person. This wisdom that we're passing on. And that's the highest of the heights. It's no longer that I want to sit there and possess you. I am love, so I don't have to possess you. There is no need for possession. You can do whatever you want, whatever your heart desires. I love you as you are. I want you to live your truth in every single way possible. And I don't want to stop that. I want you to understand you are about evolving into the highest version of you. I don't know what that is. Only the one that is inside you can give you all of that. And that's why tapping into the heart center, spending time in meditation in the heart center, meditating just in the heart center will allow it to open up to higher levels of compassion. And compassion is something that we have to learn very, very much, because you can easily get hurt by somebody. And then all of a sudden you want to reciprocate the same type of love to them. And it's like, it's easy to get that way, but that's the lower version of the self. That's the ego. That's the child that you tell the child, like, oh, can I have candy, please? And you're like, no, not now. I hate you. It's like, it's a bratty ego that you have within you that wants what it wants. You have to be able to tame that and understand that, it's all about how you talk to them. It's a balance in life. Tantra is always going to help you find balance in every moment, in every circumstance, and just go with the flow and realize that everything happens on purpose the way it's supposed to, and understanding that I have the power to change my reality by my outlook and how I approach life. And that's the essence of the real understanding of every aspect of being a divine experience. Everything is divine. This
Yeah.
water is divine. This cup is divine, created from the divine. As I drink it, it fills me with life. Shout out to Kumar and Shelly. They did that whole water thing where you sit there and just hold water in your mouth.
Water, that makes me want to do it.
Feel it, feel it. That's it. I said everybody right now. I'm a little parched. And you feel it just bless your whole body as it just goes down through your whole body. It's putting the intention in just drinking your water, you know, setting intentions on your water. Yeah. I'd say people to say shout out to the warrior princess Jacqueline in the building. She's always talking about the importance of water. You know, drinking your water. I can't express this. It's the greatest thing on earth. It's so delicate. It's very feminine. Once again, that aspect of water, because it feeds you in so ways, but it's so delicate. You know, the aspect of what it is a female wants to sit in her feminine energy. But the fact is that we have the power to tap into both. But when you're able to find a partner that's able to sit there and be the other half, I can be fully in my masculine when I need to, and you can be fully in your feminine when you need to. But understanding it's a dance.
Yeah.
You might be the cook and I might be, you know, I don't know how to cook at all, you know, whatever it may be. And then it's like, all right, I'm gonna take the feminine aspect in this room. What do I do? All right, I need tomatoes, I need onions, I need, you know, chop that up for me. I'm gonna throw this in the pan. Well, and then it's understanding that is the flow of life. It's understanding that we have to play the role at times. And a lot of single mothers out there, I know there's a lot of single mothers out there, they have to play both roles. Yeah. And it's a balance that you have to, one, learn within yourself. But you also, no matter what, you have to realize that in order for me to attract something, I have to learn to become that vibration and be able to let a man lead at times. The man wants to lead. The man wants to be the head. But if he never feels like he can lead at any moment, then that's it. But if there's a certain relationship where the dynamic is like that person just he's a feminine being. And the man will be the feminine counterpart in that whole relationship. And that's fine. But that's about understanding what is for you. Yeah. Because it's like, I'm looking for a woman that can lead. You know, I just don't like leading. I just like to create. I like to do things in my own place. I just like to stay in my feminine energy. And you can have a woman that's just a boss. Like, yeah, let me do this. I like to take care of this. And she's taking care of everything. It's about finding what is for you. It's about knowing this is exactly what I need. This is who I am. I'm fully myself. Now I know how I can attract the exact what I'm lacking. Now I can sit there and attract the other being that's going to fill that void, whatever the void is. There's no void, but it's another person that's going to complement me so that we can complement each other. And it's a reciprocity that takes place. And I like to use the example, like you said, in a very simple analogy. The way a car battery has a negative and a positive, masculine and feminine, red and black.
Yes.
If I want to jumpstart another car, which contains the same elements, but it may be dead. So we can look at the body of the car, it looks great on the outside, but still there's a dead battery. I can use that technology to jumpstart it. So Tantra is like a jumpstart. And once that car is jump-started, that car is free to go ahead and work it out. Like, yo, you got to work on it, figure out what's causing it. But that car is free to go and move on and continuing to run and move by itself. And that is the essence of how it is. It's like an electric spark. It's something to spark. If you have a partner, or you have it starting with yourself, but it's understanding that you're the highest level of technology. So you can start this by yourself. You don't need another person to jumpstart you. You can get your battery fixed within yourself. You can open up that heart chakra fully so that now it's like all of a sudden I'm starting to feel energy. I'm starting to feel energy roll down my chakra. Now I'm starting to be able to push it back up. And then you're able to cycle the energy. One thing that I'll tell people, if you want to just understand how to cycle your own energy, we all have this pelvic muscle. And I believe in women, they call it the Kegels. And men, they call it the pelvic thing, where it's like when you're holding your pee. When you start to follow your breath and breathe in your breath, and it goes up the top of your head and it goes down, you hold it for a second and send it down your back of your spine. And when it hits that bottom, you squeeze and push it back up to the front. Just start to envision that cycle of energy. And as it goes down, you'll just start to be able to feel it. Over time, you'll start to feel an energetic happening within yourself. And it's like, oh, I'm cycling my own energy, because you're just taking the breath, which is where everything starts. That's where the spirit lies. And you're circulating the spirit, which is the breath, through the body, through your inner energy field. And over time, you'll start to be able to like, oh, wow, I felt the energy just rise up to the top. And I sent it down, because that's what you're doing with your mind. It's all mental. Because once you sit there and say, wiggle your toes, you can wiggle your toes right now. So you're sending the energy down there. Wiggle my fingers. Now I'm sending the energy here. Bring your awareness to your nose. Now I'm bringing it here. So you're understanding that you have so much power in this mind, and you're choosing to use the whole body. You're using the breath. You're using your hands. You're staying still. You're bringing it into dance. Now it's like you're fully melted in the moment. Dance is probably the greatest thing that I can compare to Tantra, because growing up in familiar parties, you see my mom would dance with my uncle would dance with my dad. It's like nobody's caring about like, oh, he's dancing with my woman. Like, no, we're here having a dance. It's just love. We're enjoying the moment, and someone has to take the lead. So someone's leading the person. It's usually the masculine, the male that's leading, but it's sometimes the other way, maybe two women dancing. So this is how Tantra works. It's an essence that can be applied to all of life, and there are levels, infinite levels to it. So it's about really trying to, put a name on God, and they've used, you really can't put a name on it. They've tried to, but it's like it's all of existence. It's divinity in itself, and that's the understanding, the essence of what Tantra is, and it's all about bringing sexuality and making it sacred in every way.
Yeah. Cole, so we only have a few more minutes left on Instagram. Yes. We're going to move back over. So I can't see the comments anymore. I don't know what happened. So if you want to go through them and just maybe we can both answer them, and then I'll let you know hopefully when it's going to cut out before it does. I can't see the ones on Facebook. The ones on Facebook I'll look over later of like what we need to answer, but I definitely wanted to dive into some of these before we got cut off.
The one part of the DAO about semen retention, I couldn't find any information on how it relates to women. I find more information about men. Is it different for women? Well, women, like I said, women is about a trusting. As I said, when it comes to practicing the semen retention, is because the man is going to have to it's deep waters. When they say someone is walking on water, it's like when you're in that space and you're connecting with somebody on that level, you're going to have to be very patient. You're going to have to be very loving. You're going to have to be learn to have a code word, because at times you're learning to control it. You're learning to control the willpower, and the aspect of you may be able to get to a place where it's like, oh my God, I'm about to reach that point, and then all of a sudden you're moving too fast for them, and it's like wait, and it's like, but it's about patience. Patience is something, because once they hit that point of no return where it's like, oh, it's too late, it's gone. So it's about really being patient. It's about really, so I say for the men, that's why it's so important to have the foreplay taking place. Foreplay is essential because it allows you to, awaken the senses in every aspect of your body, instead of it just being centered in the root chakra. It's like I'm learning to awaken all aspects of my full energy field, and now I'm just melted in this oneness of all that exists. So a lot of the things with women is going to be about you learning how to cycle the energy, do the Kegels and aspects, following the breath, being patient.
Submission.
Yeah, it is one of those things.
You have to really give yourself to your partner and just love them and let them love you. I mean, I know that sounds crazy of letting someone love you like that, but it is a whole aspect of vulnerability when you're in this. And if you're in this with your partner long, however you want to look at it, I'm not going to put labels on it, but you're completely naked physically and mentally. So it's definitely a difference of making sure. So we have 2 more minutes. It just alerted me. So was there any more questions on that?
How can we clear old energy that we gathered? I wish I knew how important is on partners are selective. Well, those you can do cord cutting ceremonies. We have a full moon that's coming up. There are various rituals that you can do. I specialize in meditations that include cord cutting, but there are even burn things. It's all about the intentions. You really have to let them go. You have to really let that go. She said, exactly tired of sleeping with men that end up depleting me. That happens all the time. People, it's understanding. Once you deposit a lower vibration of energy, it's going to bring you down. It's like eating heavy food. All of a sudden, it's like, I don't feel myself. It's like, because it's all energy. Everything is energy. The universe is energy.
You're tired. You know how, like, okay, just being transparent, when a guy comes on a low vibrational, he's going to sleep. Okay, well, when you're both going to sleep, it's legitimately like your energy is depleted because he's taking that energy from you.
Right. It's not being cycled.
Exchange of what it should be. It should be an even exchange where literally he's just taking your life force, where I'm not giving that up anymore. So that's a different level. So we have 34 seconds.
Yeah, it's profound. This is next level talks, but I say everybody purchase their ticket the 11th to the 12th. We're doing a full out 2-day virtual retreat, diving deep with the relationship biohackers, Dr. Shelley, Kumar. They are, professionals. They know exactly the game. They've been doing this, and they have a different partnership, and we're going to bring aspects of it because it's about understanding the teaching. You can be single and all those aspects. But thank you, family. I love and appreciate you all.
Love you guys.
Follow us all.
All right, cool. So we're still on Facebook, and I just really, we could almost keep going on here, but I really just wanted to get the overlook and of what we have going on as far as everything that we went over today. We went over a lot of different things that people don't know about. So what would you say, where are our core topics and things that they could come to us if they need help or knowledge of these things? Because I feel like that's where...
Say it again. Where can they what?
Where can they come with me and you? Like, how can they get in touch with us? Where they can get in touch with you? What are things that you would tell them to research now for people that...
I say like this, there's so many teachers. I say Osho is, he's a great teacher. He doesn't have a good rep here in the United States because, he was essentially, somebody that had power, once again, somebody that was teaching love on high levels. He has a lot of books. We have so many different ebooks. They can just reach out to us. We can give them access to sending them ebooks. And most importantly, it's having the meditations that we do. We sit and have meditations with beings and just letting them tap into their own sacred energy. That is the essence of it.
Yeah. So that's really where I was just wanting to go into that. Let me see if we have any comments on here, because I think I can do this now. I just got to figure out how. This is the fun game we play with this. Okay, so let me see. Okay. I don't see any because I don't know where to go. So we're just going to let that go for now. You can reach out to us. We're also going to have this up on YouTube. Any questions? We do have a retreat, like Cole said, July 11th and 12th. That's next weekend. We're going to be going more into depth. And when I say depth, I mean like uncomfortable depth for you. I mean, we're really diving in.
You have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. You should never be in a place where you're uncomfortable about anything. You should be able to be fully comfortable in your skin wherever you are, no matter who you're with, because you fully know that you are one with the divine. And like I said, I give a lot of that through the teachings of Tantra. Obviously it's about reading, it's about educating yourself, it's about taking in as much knowledge so that you could just fully get the divine wisdom that's given to us, and treat it with respect. You'll start to realize that everything is perfectly made. And if you don't see it as perfect, then that means you have to be taught something. And that's the beauty of it. If you don't see it as perfection, perfectly imperfect, then you're trying to change it. I'm not going to look at a flower and say like, it's the wrong color.
Look at that. Look at that.
Like,
Look at that
yeah, it's like,
pedal.
why is it pointing that way? It's like, no, it's perfectly made. It's like a beautiful, just looking at a garden and saying everything is perfectly placed. And I don't want to change anything about it. You know, the only things that I choose to change are the things that I can change that are in my own control. And that's
Yeah.
within myself. You know, I choose
Yeah.
to become a better being. I choose to be a beacon of light where I can share my light with other beings, and I can see, I can show them the transformation. Because there
Yeah.
are so many people that have known myself, they've known you, they've known so many
Yeah.
teachers, and they'll say that this person's a new person. But it's
Yeah.
all because of the teaching and understanding the technology that we have within us. And
Yeah.
once you understand the technology, it's no longer something that can be seen. You
Mhm.
start to tap into higher levels of frequencies and dimensions that aren't able to be seen. They're only felt. And it's a
Right.
knowingness that you start to tap into. And as you build more awareness, the more you know. And the more aware you are, the more you're able to comprehend what's going on, and the more you're able to share it with others. And now I'm able to explain it further with more clarity because I understand the essence of it more. But it's hard for people to try to understand it from an analytical mind. And this is
Right.
spirituality is not about being analytical.
No.
Spirituality is a feeling, it's vibes.
Yeah.
Vibes don't lie. So when you understand the vibrations, you see the vibrations, you see the color, you feel it, then life becomes easier. You're no longer trying to sit there and say, is that for me?
I
I
don't
think that's for
know.
me. Oh, she's cute. Oh, she's cute. She's my wife. And then it's
Yeah.
like, because you're sitting there looking it out on the surface level,
You're right.
I
You
want to
find
get
out your wife's
deeply.
really crazy and you don't know
Yeah,
her. You
we hear
know,
it all the time. Yeah.
yeah, it happens all the time. You're on a low vibrational frequency, and I feel like, I'm going to post this on my Facebook, and there are a ton of people that really just date people that are visually attractive, but then when you get to know them, it's like, oh my gosh, like I really don't have anything in common with this person on a material level, on a emotional level, on all of these. So for me, when it's switched, is like, okay, I can show you love, like I love you and I'll like all your pictures and I got you, but going further of like exchanging energy, I'll teach you how to do that so you can do that with someone else.
Right.
But we're in different frequencies in our lives, and I feel like once people tap into realizing where they are and where they can grow, they have to be open to that. But that can definitely be something that happens. And for men, I've really touched on a lot of semen retention unintentionally, because
Yeah.
guys will dive into my DMs and I literally say to them, like, do you know what semen retention is? Like, and that's like the first question, because if
It's a
you're
great
not
feeling.
educated in it,
Yeah.
I mean, we got to go
It's a,
there.
yeah, it's a great feeling. That's like, you can weed out a whole lot of them that way. It's like, just
That's
go
why I'm
high,
still
man.
single.
When they go low, you go high. When they go low, you go high. Ain't no higher than that. It's
Yeah.
like what? What did she just say to me? Oh, hell no.
The
She's
semen
crazy.
retention.
Cool. I'm trying to let that shit out every second I get. And that's the reality, because it's an animalistic thing. It's an animalistic thing where you don't have control of it. And this is
Yeah.
where the fall of man happened, is not being able to find the discipline and control. It's all about lusting after things and thinking that you want certain things. Oh, I need that car, I need that man
Yeah.
to make me happy. I need, these clothes, I need these shoes. We all been there before, but
Yeah.
nothing outside of yourself is going to be able to replace what you need within.
No.
Obviously, those are accessories. Those are all accessories to life that we can enjoy. But the
Yeah.
end all be all, the highest level of it is the spiritual. But
Yeah.
most of us, we have these eyes that tend to just be attracted to the material. And then we
Right.
have people in high places that have been used as symbols, and we tend to look up to them, and we don't really understand what type of energy they're at. And
Right.
that's the divinity of it all. Not getting too deep into it, but that's the essence of Tantra, is fully understanding who you are at the core, so that you can create a life that's custom designed for you, because nobody's life is going to look like yours. And the more and more you bring this science and this way of life, you'll start to see more ease. You'll start to see more harmony. You'll start to see
Yeah.
the flow. You become the flow. You're no longer trying to fight with it. Everything just comes in your path because you've raised yourself to a frequency, a vibration, and now you're just riding that wave.
Yeah.
As opposed to if you go into high, I'm happy, now I'm sad. I'm happy and I'm sad. Now you're like on a boat with no
Like,
type of
oh
stability, and
Lord,
it's
it's a
like,
whole roller
oh,
coaster.
and it's like you fall, and then it's a fall. Nobody likes the fall, you know. And then it's another terminology. People like to say, "I'm falling in love." Don't fall
Yeah.
in love. Don't fall in love. Rise in love. Rise
Yes.
in love together.
There's a big
Falling in
difference.
love is because when you fall, it's like there's nothing good about falling. Like
Right? No, it
no,
hurts.
you
It
don't want that.
hurts.
You
When
want
I
to
fall,
rise.
yeah,
Yeah,
when I fall, I trip over everything, and that's not a good feeling. I don't want to be there. I want to rise because I need to be at a higher frequency with love because
yeah,
that's what I give. Like I give pure, like I just want to love every piece of you and I'm going to just devour it in all
yeah,
types of ways. Like that's
yeah,
it. And when you give that kind of love, it's not felt. It's not
yeah,
felt before. It's almost uncomfortable for some people of like, why is
yeah.
she doing this? You know,
And they'll,
like
and they'll take advantage of it. They'll be like,
right.
oh shit, like this person's giving all the time because they once again that's as empaths you're going to attract those type of beings.
Right.
You're going to attract people that are just that love your energy. It's a spiritual thing. So it's like alcohol is a spirit, you know. So
Yes.
you can become intoxicated by a spirit. So that is the essence of understanding. Once again, you understand your energy, so you have to keep the balance at all times. You don't want to
Mhm.
sit there and make somebody drunk, intoxicated off your shit. Now they're just sitting there attached to you. You want to
Yeah.
be able to keep a wall up at times because you have to feel it out because it's a
Yeah.
feel. You have to understand what the vibes are like because there's nothing worse than feeling like someone's taking from you and they're just
Yeah.
looking at you. People say it subconsciously, like, yo, I miss your energy. I need that energy. Like, and it's like, it sounds
People
crazy.
say that. People say
Yeah,
that outright, and I'm like,
I need
oh, like
that.
that's like a red flag now. That's not even like, oh, like okay, I see
Hit
you.
that,
But
hit that
I'm gonna
booking, hit
block
that
you
book
real
button.
quick.
Yeah. No, hit that booking number, hit that booking
Seriously,
button, and then let's book it,
you can have
book
a
a session.
session any time of
Yeah.
the week.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, yeah. It's a reciprocity. It's a reciprocity. But you just gotta. Those are things that you just gotta be aware of. You know, people will say a lot through the subconsciously what they feel, and the reality is that this world of spirituality has been misunderstood, and it's getting put in this dark place, and mystics and all these things, and it's all of that stuff's going away. It's necessary to understand that spirituality is what brought us here. And we've been stripped
Right.
from spirituality because it's became analytical and dogmatic instead of being something that is a connection with yourself. So yeah, that's the essence of it. That's the beauty of it. But like we said, we're gonna tap further into
Yes,
this on the
we can
11th as
talk about this
well.
all day.
This is just a tip of the iceberg. We'll be able to go further in. People will be able to sit with their notepads, take the notes, take in the knowledge, take in the teachings, and it's worth every
Every
time,
dollar.
minute, dollar that you'll invest because this is things that you could take with you through all of life.
Yes.
And if you really want to better your life, you have to understand yourself. And understanding your sexuality as a being is a main part of that. That is what brought you here. You know, if you
Yeah.
don't understand sex education wasn't the real education we needed. It was
No.
really sacred sex education we needed so that we could probably save a whole lot of bodies of people that
Trauma.
we slept with and we taken on a lot of energy. If we understood how important it was and how sacred it was, we wouldn't do it for the kicks
Right.
and giggles or just for that one night stand. Or you don't know where that person's been. You don't know what type of energy they're with. You don't know the type of thoughts they are, but because they're attractive, they got a good body. Now you sitting there and invested in it, and that can become dangerous if you don't tread that lightly. So just get to know yourself more, and when you're able to know yourself more, you're able to set boundaries with people and say like, this is not okay, this is okay, because if you don't know how to set boundaries, you get taken advantage of again. And you
100%.
won't be able to catch it. And the more you understand what is okay and what is in alignment with you, the more and more you can take full control of your life. And you're not being like, oh, why did I get hurt again? We've heard so many great people, great women, men that continue to go through heartbreak because
Yes.
they haven't healed what's going on. And it could be something that was from your parents. You didn't learn how
Childhood trauma.
you didn't watch, you didn't see how your dad loved your mom the right way. So you start to tend to attract men that are like, this is deep rooted stuff. So
Yeah.
the science of the tantric energy is for you to work out all the traumas work out all the darkness that you have within yourself. And it's the light that you allow, the cosmic orgasmic energy that you allow into your being to continue to clean it out. It's cleansing it. There's muddy waters that have been created, and it's about bringing the pureness of water to flush it all out. And now it's only purity that exists within me. I no longer have jealousy. I no longer have envy. I no longer have, things that we naturally have as this animalistic human we are. You can't, we have to learn to balance these things where you're no longer affected by anything. You see it as like, this was supposed to happen. That person did me wrong because I needed to understand this is where the things, you don't see it as an offense. You don't take on the energy.
What Cole just said was when you're taking on someone else's energy, you actually have repercussions from bringing on their energy, is what he said. And we are going to dive into these conversations, and we could sit here for hours and just like go in and educate you. But I have to tell you that these are what these retreats are for. This is what we're doing with Zencation. We're educating, we're helping you realize that there is shit that happened in your life that you probably haven't dealt with, and that's why it's a cause and effect. There's things that you have to deal with in your trauma, in your past, that will affect you and your children, if you have children, because it's a generational thing, if you don't handle it. So that's something that I can tell you. When you're doing these things, it is emotional. You're dealing with shit that you didn't want to bring up. You're going through it, all of it. And we have the right people to deal with these things, to get past them. Okay, so that is the most important thing that I could say here, is that we're talking about Tantra and sacred sexuality and sacred sex. But before you step into any of that, you really got to deal with the shit inside of you. You really got to deal with you and make sure that you're 100% before you bring someone else your energy, because then when you intertwine your energy, then they feel that too. So it's a whole, it is multiple levels. And I feel like there's levels to everything in your life, but this is something that you really have to take care of. So
you don't need a partner. You can be single. We're going to tap into the singleness. If you've gone through a breakup or you're single right now, this is the best time. This is the best time, because you can start within yourself to raise yourself to the highest level so you can attract what you deserve. Yes. This is what it's about. It's about, this is for everybody. If you have a mate, that's great. Come with your couple so that you guys can understand this and you can practice it together. But most importantly, it's a single thing. It's a oneness thing. You have to be one with yourself, because if you're not, you're going to easily get pulled back into that duality, and now it becomes a fight and an argument. But yes, join us.
Yes.
The 11th to the 12th. We want to save some information for you, and that's it. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you. This is big shit that we're diving into. So I appreciate you. So we're gonna end this on that note.
Yes.
Facebook. Have an amazing day. Take this weekend and dive into yourself. Don't make any major decisions. We learned that. Okay, this weekend's not for that. Okay, just go in internally and don't make anything major. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. And
follow us on all your platforms. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Subscribe to us. We have a lot more, content that we're going to be bringing to you from our whole tribe. We have over 50 people from all over the world. And that's through the grace of the Most High. This Corona blessing has allowed us to connect with so many divine beings. And when you're able to bring more people that carry the light, we're able to concentrate it and send it out. So be sure to tap in every week. Every week we're having countless talks, and we look forward to connecting with you all.
All right. Love you guys. Take care.
Blessings. Namaste.